Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
The digging out continues in areas of Colorado after a historic snowfall yesterday with as much as 10 inches falling across the Midwest. Luckily, we have a little break right now in the FM area, but we are bracing for the snow heading our way later this week. Let's check in with Justin right away for a look at the rest of our night. Justin, any red flags for people hitting the roads or skies this evening?
Thank you, Melanie. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it looks like we are mainly dry out there right now with mostly cloudy skies, and it is seasonably cool. Here's a look at the current satellite and radar, and we just have cloud cover across the region, maybe some peaks of clear skies just off to the west of Devil's Lake. But if you're traveling this evening, looks pretty good across the region with current temperatures into the lower 20s into the Devil's Lake Basin, mid-20s most everywhere else. There's a little bit of a wind from a cool northerly direction around 10 to 25 miles per hour. The wind should diminish later on this evening as we keep a good amount of cloud cover, and that will keep temperatures into the mid-20s going through this evening. Now let's take a look at that snowstorm that is going to hit us starting on Thanksgiving evening. First off, for the day tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies and mainly dry. Some snow showers are possible late in the day, turning to some light snow overnight, and Friday into Saturday, high-impact winter storm, heavy snow, wind, and possibly mixed with some rain or freezing rain in some areas. And it will be hazardous to travel in the Friday to Saturday time frame with snow showers ending by Sunday morning, but through the day on Sunday, still windy with blowing snow. Now, we're going to have much more on this storm coming up in our main weathercast, and we'll have a look at that 7-day forecast too. That's coming up just a little bit.
Okay, Justin, thank you. And with that winter weather heading our way during the holiday travel time, some of you might be away from home longer than expected. And if you do find yourself stuck with your home empty, Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with police today who say it's best to prep and secure your home before you hit the road.
Lock it or lose it. We've all heard it time and time again. But when you're away from your home, whether for the holidays or stuck in a storm, Captain Derek Swenson says it's best to be a little more mindful.
We want to look at making sure that they're not advertising that they're going to be gone. So social media posts that your house is going to be open. You may trust your friend's network, but that may get out to others.
As most home burglaries are targeted crimes, Swenson suggests making your house look like it usually does when you're home.
Make your house still look like people are inside, so very economic. Timers for your lamps. You may have lighting that you're able to put in, exterior lighting that come on and off from dusk to dawn.
He adds to never leave a spare key outside, but if you have to put it in a more clever spot than just under the rug. Also saying it's not a bad idea to either lock or unplug your garage doors so burglars aren't able to manipulate the wires. And with several inches of snow heading toward the valley, Swenson says if you're not going to be home, to ask a neighbor if they'll shovel for you, as a snowed-in driveway might be a green light for potential home invaders.
Even having your a friend, if they're not going to shovel for you, drive in your driveway so at least there's tracks visible.
In Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Swenson also says for longer trips, it's best to stop your mail and packages or have a neighbor pick it up for you. That way you can protect yourself from porch pirates as well. A man is behind bars this evening following a reckless driving case near West Fargo. Jonathan Moore is facing reckless driving charges. It started around 6 after troopers got a report of someone going way too fast and passing people on the shoulder of Interstate 29 yesterday evening. Eventually, troopers were able to track down the driver after he crashed into another car. No one was injured in the whole ordeal. A record number of accidents from the snowstorm that hit the southern part of Minnesota overnight. Officials say there were nearly 500 crashes and spinouts as the massive snowstorm hit several communities, leaving over 10 inches of snow. The Minnesota State Patrol says 9 people were hurt, but none seriously. In addition to those incidents, there were 127 crashes and spinouts Tuesday afternoon when the storm system entered Minnesota. Grand Forks police want your help finding a missing teenager in the Northern Valley. Officials say 16-year-old Abby Jays was reported missing last night. She's 5'8", 160 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. You're urged to contact Grand Forks Police or your local law enforcement if you have any information on where she is. A kitchen fire at a popular Fargo buffet left some customers having to go elsewhere for their lunch. Officials say they got a call a little after 11 for a fire at the Super Buffet on 45th Street South. Firefighters on the scene say the fire started in the kitchen and was mostly just smoke by the time they got there.
Fryers make some really good food, but they're also very dangerous. And turkeys being the number one thing, it seems like every Thanksgiving we have a turkey fryer fire, and it's because the turkey's not completely thawed, the grease is overfilled.
Officials say the damage left behind is not going to be too bad. Meanwhile, down in the Twin Cities, 5 people have been killed and another 3 are in the hospital after a high-rise fire broke out overnight near downtown Minneapolis. Fire crews largely extinguished the fire, which was reported as a 2-alarm fire. People living there had to get out of the building using a stairwell. The fire was reported to have started on the 14th floor.
The crews had to search 10 floors above the fire, which we normally do, which is a lot of work and a lot of effort. Remembering this 14 floors up, so all the equipment has to be carried and hauled up to the 14th floor to even begin fire zone operations.
Officials say one resident on the 21st floor initially refused to evacuate. A firefighter was also taken to the hospital for an evaluation. And with Thanksgiving on the heels of the impeachment investigation, politics are sure to come up at your dinner table this year. But what's the best way to survive those conversations? Our D.C. Bureau reporter Kristen Casper asked the experts. Here's a look.
Pass the turkey, hold the politics. That may be your philosophy during family Thanksgiving dinner, but what if there's a way to have civil, controversial conversations?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just before the holiday, political leaders from across the aisle sat across the table for a turkey dinner hosted by Jason Grumet, founder of the Bipartisan Policy Center.
If you're not able to talk about issues you care about with the people you care about, it's hard to expect that your politicians are going to do any better.
So from their placemat to yours, what's the key to surviving the tense table talk? Chew with your mouth closed and ears open. Here's some advice from Florida House Democrat Donna Shalala.
You can't hold people back. They've been absolutely focused on these hearings, so everybody will want to talk.
While they may not agree on policy, Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana backs her on this one.
Be less apt to give your opinion and more prone to listen to what others say.
And between the impeachment pie and the debt reduction sauce, Chef Spike Mendelson says the menu might even make a difference. He suggests serving calming traditional foods to help keep the peace.
Stuffings, turkeys, cranberry sauce.
And when cooking for members of Congress, maybe take a few extra precautions.
Well, there's no knives on the table, so
That will help.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Casper.
If you're looking for more advice, the Bipartisan Policy Center has created a Thanksgiving Family Survival Guide. You can take a look at that online at bipartisanpolicy.org. Meanwhile, a hepatitis A case out of Minnesota that is being linked to blackberries. Health officials say at least one person is recovering right now. Officials say you should avoid eating fresh, non-organic blackberries purchased between September 9th and September 30th of this year. Symptoms of hepatitis A infection include vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, yellowing of the skin and the eyes. If you believe you have eaten these berries in the last 2 weeks, you're urged to talk to your healthcare provider about getting the hepatitis A vaccine. Jimmy Carter is back at home after a recent hospital stay. Former President Carter was released from a hospital in Atlanta this morning. He went in for surgery earlier this month to relieve pressure on his brain from bleeding linked to recent falls. Carter, age 95, has fallen a number of times this year. He underwent hip replacement surgery after a fall in the spring. Another fall left him with a black eye and multiple stitches. It is